has been paid for by
the ENN podcast.
He has a good energy, you guys.
Yeah. Can you believe it? Can
Sports.
you feel it? Can you feel that excitement?
The merchandise, wearing the hats.
Chris Wild here live from Lincoln Financial.
And I'm telling you, if you let Eli Manning walk into that stadium and make you look stupid and get a Giants W.
Music.
Wow. Whoa.
And more.
What's his next book going to be called? Spineless?
like
What is up, everybody? Professional wrestler Chris Wild back with a live stream. It's been a while. This is going to be a very long one. There's so much stuff, I think, to talk about in the past couple days that I figured why not do it live? The person that edits a lot of my videos has been very, very busy lately. So we're going to get into it, and let's talk about the biggest news to come out of the day, in my opinion, and that is that nasty, ugly, disgusting Carson Wentz banner has finally been taken off. Showing a little nipple action, guys. I'm sorry. Has been taken off Lincoln Financial Field finally after what seems like just months and months of unnecessary of it being up there. It's just been unnecessary, especially after the trade. What's going on, Big Play Slay? King Chris, what's going on? Jacob Fry, nice to see all you guys. It is the dead point of the offseason. Like, this is where it's tough being a fan because nothing is going on. Everybody has basically signed the people they want to sign. They've made the trades they want to make until training camp, where when guys get hurt, that's where other things happen. We all remember 2017 with the Philadelphia Eagles, how they did a lot of different things kind of towards the end of training camp and after the first preseason game, which I'll definitely talk about in a little bit.
Hold on, I'm gonna elaborate on that later.
So yeah, let's talk about this banner, guys. It went down, and there was a lot of speculation. What do you put up there? What do you put up to replace the Carson Wentz banner? Now, there was a lot of suggestions from the Jason Kelsey picture of him at the parade, that iconic speech. I heard Brian Dawkins, who kind of represents the entire city, or the attitude of the entire city. And then I even heard Jalen Hurts, and I obviously disagreed with that one, agreed with the other two, just because so much pressure you'd put on Jalen Hurts by putting him on the stadium. So the Eagles today put up a banner, and let's go ahead and take a look at that. And there it is. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It is the Lombardi Trophy when the Philadelphia Eagles won Super Bowl 52 against Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. And I don't think there's been a better Super Bowl since. That might be the greatest Super Bowl of all time. But yeah, beautiful thing right there. Now, if you notice, there's a little bit of controversy, because why not? It's Philadelphia. There's going to be controversy, right? These hands holding up this trophy, those are the hands of former Eagles quarterback and Super Bowl 52 MVP, Philadelphia Eagles legendary quarterback Nick Foles, as he held up that trophy at the end of that game. Goodness gracious, I'm telling you guys, this is no bullshit. I get chills just thinking about it. I get chills all over again, just like it just happened. Just like, I mean, so the controversy obviously is, are the Eagles kind of sticking it to Carson Wentz, or Carson Wentz fans again, by putting up Nick? It's just funny even thinking this. Nick Foles' hands. Look, guys, it's the dead point of the offseason. I think people are just making this out to be more than what it is, right? I mean, come on. It's a beautiful picture of the Lombardi Trophy with the green confetti. Could they have found a better picture? I don't know, but it's just iconic. And look, Nick Foles, he's a Chicago Bear as it stands right now. He's not a Philadelphia Eagle. but it's just such a good picture. I think we make too much out of things, and I think too much is being made out of that. Again, once Nick Foles retires and years go by, obviously, sure, why not? It's Nick Foles' hands holding up the trophy, but I like it. I like it. I mean, there's nothing better than driving by that stadium and be reminded of that moment, whether it's Nick Foles' hands or somebody else. King Chris says he feels like should add Jason Kelsey. Linemen don't get love like that. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. Not only is Jason Kelsey one of the best centers in the league, he's definitely going to be an Eagles Hall of Famer as far as being around there in their stadium. And who can forget that speech? One of the most iconic speeches ever. He's a character. I don't say that in a bad way. I mean, he is a character that, again, you say offensive linemen don't get love because a lot of them don't get to show their personality. He does. He does it great. He's always for the team. He always says the right things. And I'm just happy that he's back this year because there's a lot of questions if he was even going to come back, which makes me feel really good about this football team. And we talk about this football team, one of their biggest needs, guys, and we've talked about this all off season. We talked about it all last year. I feel like we've talked about it for a while. And that's the fact that the Eagles don't have a number 2 corner. I mean, we're left with Devontae Maddox, rookie Zach McPherson, just a bunch of slot guys or guys that probably won't be on NFL teams or wouldn't be on any other NFL team. And then we've got Darius Slay, who is, and look, no disrespect to Darius Slay, he's coming off of a bad year. And I when I say bad year, it's subjective because he really didn't have many bad games, right? I mean, he got beat by guys that were beating everybody. DK Metcalf, obviously, is one that comes to mind. But he's getting a little bit older, so you kind of want your number 2 to be a 1A or a 1B, in my opinion. The Eagles don't have, our cornerback situation is so bad. You're looking at it, again, a lot of these guys wouldn't be playing for any other NFL teams. But the reason why I bring that out is because a guy that I've wanted the Eagles to sign, a guy that a lot of other fans have wanted them to sign, who is definitely the best free agent available as far as cornerbacks are concerned, made a statement today, and that is cornerback Steven Nelson. Now, he didn't re-sign with the Steelers because of a money issue, which is why he's still a free agent, because people or teams have not wanted to pay what he's asking. Now, he's been linked to the Eagles because obviously the Eagles have that need there, right? Jacob Fry, I'm going to bring that up in a minute. That's a guy I want to talk about too. But when talking about Steven Nelson today, he posted the tweet, today or tomorrow, stay tuned. Now, look, this was at 11:24 a.m. This tweet has since been deleted. It's been deleted. And if I'm being honest, and this was just a quick search, I couldn't even find his Twitter page. So I don't know what happened to it since then. Now, Darius Slay and him have been flirting with each other on social media. So, saying Midnight Green would look good on you and things of this nature. The problem where it comes with the Eagles is the salary cap number. As they stand, they've got a little over $4 million to spend. It's going to cost more, I think, to get Steven Nelson. Now, Zach Ertz is still sitting there. Nothing happening with him at the moment. You get rid of him, you get $8 million to spend, which would free up some space for Steven Nelson. But right now, they don't have it as far as today or tomorrow. And unless, look, I'm not a salary cap wizard. I'm a fan just like everybody else. But how it looks to me is that they don't have the money to spend for him. And Jacob Fry says, are the Eagles actually trading for Xavier Howard, or are they going to sign Steven Nelson? I seriously want to know what's going on. Now, Xavier Howard's, again, another great corner, and he wants out of Miami, again, due to money issues. So if the Eagles were to trade for him, they would probably have to sign him to some kind of extension. Now, Howie Roseman, if he's anything, he's kind of a wizard with the salary cap. We've seen what he's done this year, and as much hate as I've given Howie Roseman for all of the problems that the Eagles have had since the Super Bowl year, one of the things he's done is he's made this mess of a salary cap into something manageable. Next year, they have a bunch of money to spend. And he, look, say what you want. Again, he came out this offseason with Devontae Smith and an extra number 1 pick. It's you can't ask for much more. Again, the hell that the Eagles are in salary cap wise. But in order to compete, especially in the NFC East, look, I don't care how good their defensive line is, which I believe, and I've said this the past couple years, and I've been wrong. I'm gonna go for it again. I believe that their defensive line is going to be good. I really think it's gonna be good. But I don't care how great your defensive line is. You got to have guys back there that can. Some of these wide receivers now are just unreal, especially in the East. I mean, CeeDee Lamb coming into season 2, his first real year, in my opinion. You know, you got Amari Cooper over there in Dallas as well. Kenny Galladay with the Giants. Terry McLaurin with the Washington football team. They're just stacked wide receiver wise in the league. And the Eagles are going to need somebody else back there that can compete. I think Avonte Maddox is a better slot guy. He's going to have to prove himself. I think the Eagles safeties got a little bit better. Again, you need to know if Rodney McLeod is going to be able to recover from that ACL injury that he had. But again, I believe that the Eagles are okay as far as safety goes. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what Kayvon Wallace brings year 2. I heard they might try to transition him into a cornerback. So there's a lot of different options there for the Philadelphia Eagles. Does Steven Nelson sign with the Eagles? I just don't know. I got to be honest. I don't see it. I don't see it. As far as the money goes, I don't know. I could have traded. Now, look, I bring up 2017 earlier, and I say this because everybody remembers 2017, kind of a similar issue with the Eagles and their quarterbacks. And then out of nowhere, after I think it was the first preseason game, Jordan Matthews gets traded to Buffalo for Ronald Darby, who was decent that year, kind of fell off a cliff after that. Take a swig for the working man. But we'll see. The training camp is less than a week away. I got to be honest with you guys. I'm really optimistic about this football team, man. And I always am, you know, for all the content creators or guys that make these videos, you know, some of them are negative. I'm a little bit more on the optimistic side because who wants to go through their life being negative about everything? Now, could this team win 2 games? Sure, absolutely. Wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. But could this team maybe win the division? Sure, why not? Why not? I mean, again, I bring up 2017. We remember going into 2017, nobody thought the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl. Nobody thought the Eagles were going to get to a playoff game. And yes, I understand the team was younger, had a little bit more talent. We bring in a guy like Alshon Jeffrey, LeGarrette Blount. We trade for JHI. I understand, but as far as expectation goes, there are absolutely zero expectation on these Philadelphia Eagles. The only expectation that I can gather from the national media is that they're not going to be very good. Now, to me, it all hinges on the quarterback position. Jalen Hurts. If you go back into the archives here on ENN, I have absolutely put my stock as far as thinking he is going to be able to win us games into Jalen Hurts. I just look, it's something that I tell people, and it goes not just through sports, but through entertainment as well. Some people just have that it factor. You look at them and they just have that look. There's something about them. You look at all the good quarterbacks. They got that look. They got that it. Again, it's that it factor. And I think Jalen Hurts has it, man. He just has it. That confidence. You know, say what you will about Carson Wentz. And look, I'm not going to be a hypocrite here. I loved Carson Wentz. I had faith in Carson Wentz. I thought last year he was going to have a good year. I thought every year since 2017 he was going to bounce back and have a great year. And he made me look like an idiot, made me look stupid. You know, he did all the wrong things last year, both as far as in the media, as far as on the field. And you look at Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts was the opposite of Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, after a bad series, after any series actually, went and sat on the bench with his tablet next to Nate Sudfeld. And that was that. Jalen Hurts, after a bad series, after a good series, went to his coach, talked about the plays, hyped up his teammates because he had that it factor. He had that thing that made you want to follow him. Now, does that mean that he can throw a deep ball or accurate passes? No, absolutely not. The fact that that he's a good leader and guys want to follow him, it doesn't mean that he's going to be a great quarterback or, like I said, is going to be a Joe Montana. Do I think he's going to be a Joe Montana? No, absolutely not.
Hell no.
But I think he can win this. If he plays good, the Eagles can win this division. They absolutely can. You bring in a guy like Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor, year 2. Again, I look at Jalen Reagor and I look at a guy last year that was hurt. A lot of expectations, especially when Justin Jefferson goes out and does what he does. And we kind of put that unfair expectation on Jalen Reagor a little bit. I mean, he is a first-round pick. I get it. This year will be a first real year for this guy. And I really believe that Nick Sirianni is going to, and his coaching staff are going to put Jalen Reagor in a position to succeed. And that might be the slot. I hate to go right back to 2017, that magical number, that magical year. But Nelson Aguilar in 2016, when he was put on the outside and a lot was asked to him, absolutely sucked, right? Put him in the slot in 2017 for a lot of plays, for most of the plays, and he had one of his best years besides last year, and then he kind of fell off after that for whatever reason. I think a lot of negativity. I said to someone earlier today that negativity, that negative mindset breeds negative possibilities. Like if you're in that locker room, there's a lot of negativity, especially in that wide receiver room. If you think the sky's falling, it's probably going to fall. If you feel like you're going to fall off a cliff, it's probably going to happen. But if you kind of look positive, only positive things can happen. Only positive things that come from that. And I feel that. I feel that with this team. I really do. With Jalen Hurts in command. Now, will Jalen Hurts even be the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles come week 1? That is really up in the air. It absolutely is. And you look at kind of how the Eagles have handled this. You look at when their schedule came out. A lot of times when your schedule comes out, the guys that you advertise on the schedule is your quarterback if you've got a franchise starting quarterback. Well, the Eagles there was no sign of Jalen Hurts anywhere on any media guides, on any schedule releases, nothing. That kind of says something to me. The fact that Sirianni, and I know he's been really beating the desk per se about competition, how he wants competition in every position. But the fact that he hasn't said it's Jalen's job till he loses it kind of says something to me. Could Deshaun Watson be in the works? I kind of roll my eyes at this point. I just want it to be over with. We really take for granted what we had with Donovan McNabb, right? Years and years, you knew going in that was your starter. It sucks with all these question marks now. We had a little bit, a couple years where we knew that it was going to be Carson Wentz, and then, of course, Nick Foles wins the Super Bowl. You don't know who's it going to be, Carson or Nick. And now we're going with this with Jalen. Is he going to be the guy? Joe Flacco is definitely not going to be the guy, but are they going to if Deshaun Watson's issues get cleared, if they're settled in court, do the Eagles trade? The Eagles have the pieces to trade for a young, one of the best quarterbacks in the league in Deshaun Watson. Now, obviously, he's probably going to be suspended for some games. So let's say they did trade for him tomorrow. If everything was cleared, the NFL is probably going to suspend him for some games. You probably go for the first 6 weeks of the season with Joe Flacco. But again, I don't know. And I hate that not knowing. I try to look forward and just say, look, it's going to be Jalen for the entire year. Let him play. Let's see how he is. And look, the worst case scenario, he goes out there and he plays good enough to win you, 7-8 games, right? That makes him a more valuable trade piece if you're going to get a quarterback like Deshaun Watson. There's in no world do I think Aaron Rodgers would want to come here, but I'm just mentioning his name because, like in Aaron Rodgers, if you've got a guy like Jalen Hurts, or teams go, you know what, in the right system, he might be able to be really good for us. And I think Houston, being his hometown, it just works out perfectly. But I do hope that he plays really well here. I just like the kid. I like his mindset, like his work ethic. King Chris says, who do you think will win the left tackle position? You hope it's Andre Dillard. Well, the Eagles hope it's Andre Dillard because Andre Dillard was a first-round pick. As an Eagles fan, I should want it to be Andre Dillard. I understand why you would. But, man, I love what Jordan Mailata did last year. Jordan Mailata absolutely balled out, looked like a stud last year on an offensive line that was in shambles. I mean, this guy – and you're looking at a guy that was a rugby player who never played football when he was drafted. Never played football. He comes in here and he looks like, it looks like he's got a lot of promise, a lot of potential. I was very happy with what I saw from Jordan Mailata. He also is a guy that can play right tackle as well. Now, if you look at Andre Dillard, when they put him at right tackle his rookie year, he absolutely fell to pieces, and I think that was part of his downfall. I hope they're both good. I hope they're both good enough to where whoever plays left tackle, the other one is like I said, 1A and 1B, where you can interchange them out. I think that this offensive line, if healthy, they've got a lot of good depth there. You look at Jack Driscoll, he got some meaningful snaps. He got hurt later on in the season, but I think he's a promising player. Nate Herbig, another guy, you don't know what they're going to do with Sam Malu, but I think there's a lot of promise there. And then Landon Dickerson, who I probably should have put him in the title or somewhere in the thumbnail. I find it really odd that he hasn't signed his rookie contract yet. We both know he basically tore the ACL in both of his legs. There are analysts out there, Brian Baldinger being one of them, who I absolutely love, that thinks that Landon Dickerson is a generational offensive lineman, is going to be an absolute stud in the NFL. Now, to me, the fact that he's not signed yet kind of says to me, is he healthy enough? Are they looking at him like, man, did he fail a physical? I mean, what is it? I don't know. Again, I don't know, but it's just weird to be the only rookie on this team. And your second round pick, right? That I mean, come on. That that isn't signed. Just more drama for the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. So I don't know. I'm definitely looking forward to the season, though. Again, I think it's going to be an exciting year. I look at Nick Sirianni, and I've talked about this in other videos. Man, there's just like Michael Robinson coming out with some bullshit, and a lot of these national media folks pouring on this guy who hasn't had a chance yet. A lot of these young coordinators, they come in, they make a difference on their team. You look at Sean McVay, you look at Matt LaFleur. I mean, that is kind of what is going on in the league now. And Nick Sirianni has been around, obviously been around Frank Reich. He's been around the league since 2008, 2009 in some form or fashion as a coach. His first couple press conferences were dog shit. I mean, look, speaking in front of a camera, I'm speaking to you guys. I could just imagine looking at 15 other faces that I've never seen before and having to talk to them. I don't understand it. How you could have a good presser at that point. But he's gotten better. You hear him talk. He knows what he's talking about. You watch the little mic'd up things. He's energetic. He gets in on the positions like wide receiver that he knows. So let's see here. Jacob Fry, what do you think the Eagles' record going into the season would be? I really wanted to say 8-8, but they've got an extra game. So no team can be 500 anymore. I think the Eagles will win, and this is just being optimistic. I know Elliott Shore Parks, who I really can't stand on WIP, but I agree with him on this. I think they could win 10. I think they win 10 games. I really do. And I say that because the Eagles have been hurt and injured for the past couple of years. There's this law of averages thing. They got to have a year where they're healthy, right? Right? The Eagles are healthy, 10 wins. It's not too far off. There's going to be some games where they surprise. I really believe that. And the NFC East just isn't that good. I mean, even with some of the upgrades that the New York Giants have had, and even though the Washington football team's defense is absolutely legit, could be one of the best in the league. And Dallas is Dallas. I mean, they've always had talent, right? They've always had talent the past couple of years, but they just they can't put it together. I don't know if it's, and Dak coming off a horrific ankle injury. You just wonder, do those pieces work together? Is Dallas's offensive line as good as it used to be? I don't know, but it's not that the East is not going to be that great. So I absolutely think, and again, I just have a weird feeling about, first off, the first couple of games, nobody knows what the Eagles are going to do. They don't have tape on what the offense is going to be. They don't know what the defense is going to be. So the first couple of games, the Eagles could surprise. They could just kind of catch teams off guard. I think back to 2016, Eagles played the Steelers. I believe it was week 3, and the Steelers were maybe double-digit favorites going into that game, and the Eagles absolutely kicked their ass because nobody understood what Doug was going to do, what his offense was, or Jim Schwartz's defense. It took a while, and then it eventually caught up to them. But again, I have to be optimistic. I really pronounced that crazy. Optimistic, and think that the Eagles are going to have a 10-win season, if not 8 wins maybe. But looking at the schedule, if everything goes right for the Eagles, and we use that word so much, if I know I hate it. But you think about their offense, Miles Sanders coming into a Nick Sirianni offense, you got to believe is going to run the ball because that's what they did in Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor looked like an absolute superstar. Miles Sanders hasn't been used the right way, and he has been injured. I'll give him, I'll give Doug that, but Doug really didn't utilize Miles Sanders the way I thought he should. Kenny Gainwell, an exciting rookie into this offense. Kerryon Johnson coming in. You look at your tight end, Dallas Goedert, hopefully, knock on wood, he can stay healthy. And then again, year 2 of Jalen Reagor, Devontae Smith, Travis Fulgham, I think could have a year like he should have had last year. He's not going to have Alshon Jeffrey on his heels now. He's not going to have to worry about that. And he's going to have a guy, Nick Sirianni, that used to coach wide receivers. I think we saw the talent Fulgham has. I believe it's still in him. He went downhill when Alshon came in last year. You got, people forget about him. I think he's going to be really good. You still got Greg Ward, who could be a nice little utility player, and an offensive line that I believe is motivated to stay healthy. Absolutely motivated to stay healthy. As far as the defense goes, guys, defensive line, they should eat. I mean, Fletcher Cox isn't done. Javon Hargrave came on last year late. He got hurt early. Started to pick up the defense late. Brandon Graham, I still believe he's got a couple good seasons in him. Josh Sweat, I've done videos on how I think Josh Sweat is he could be an absolute beast if he could just stay on the field. We've seen it. He could be in it. We wanted Jadeveon Clowney last year. Josh Sweat's numbers last year were better than Jadeveon Clowney's. I mean, he could be an absolute beast. Derek Barnett in a contract year. And then you got some rookies that the Eagles are really high on. Milton Williams, Patrick Johnson. I just think they really went into this shoring up that defensive line. You got Eric Wilson, a new signee in the linebacker position. Alex Singleton, finally probably going to get a chance to start. And then, you see what what Jonathan Gannon can do with the secondary, with the pieces that he has there. Again, I don't believe they're done adding. I really don't believe they're done adding. I don't think Zach Ertz is going to be here as much as I love Zach Ertz. I don't think he's going to be here. He could be involved in some kind of trade for maybe a Howard from Miami, or maybe he could finally go to Buffalo. I don't know, but I think the Eagles, they have the pieces there, man. They have the pieces there. Comes down to Jalen Hurts and if Nick Sirianni can coach, which again I'm optimistic about because why wouldn't I be? And they've got like Brian Johnson, that quarterback coach who I like. His familiarity, I still said it wrong. You know what I'm trying to say. With Jalen Hurts should help as well. But yeah, that was the very long answer to your question, Jacob. I can't tell you that I don't have faith in this team. And the Eagles, most of the time when they don't make the playoffs, they make them the next year or they bounce back. So, all right, guys. So that was my ramble on our Philadelphia Eagles. There's going to be more videos coming up next week. Obviously, as training camp begins, there's going to be more content to throw out there. I've been super busy, just life in general. Wrestling has picked up now that COVID-19, a lot of the restrictions have went away. Thank goodness. And then how great is that going to be to be tailgating again and be back in the stadium, back watching football with fans? It's going to be absolutely awesome. I can't wait. It was taken away. And again, I don't look at 2020, and it's not just because the Eagles were an absolute shit show, but I look at 2020 as like, it just didn't feel like a real year to me, right? No fans in this. Can you imagine playing? Like, we got the sound into the TV, but those guys, they're playing on the field in silence. There's no way. I mean, look, the crowd motivates you. The crowd absolutely motivates you, whether they're booing the shit out of you when you go to a visitor stadium or they're going nuts on a fourth down, wanting you to stop the other team. That matters. And that was absolutely taken away last year. So coming into this year, I just cannot wait for Lincoln Financial Field to be absolutely rocking. As much as I love the summertime and I love the beach and the bikinis, I cannot wait. Just that fall weather, just a little bit. It's cold enough for a jacket, but once you start going, you can take it off, show off your guns. I mean, I can't wait. I'm so hyped up for this Eagle season. And look, if they're shitty or they're not, I think 2020 showed us it's got to go out there and have fun. And I'm about to have some fun right now. Again, as everybody knows, I'm a professional wrestler. And I do, if you follow the channel, I do some unboxings on the channel, or I have in the past. Unboxing some wrestling figures. It's kind of a hobby of mine. The guys that I still work with, I don't collect their stuff. It's usually legends, or it's something that means something to me. And this next figure that I'm going to unbox definitely means something to me, or at least in my history, because one of the first shows that I ever watched that made me want to become a professional wrestler, the first pay-per-view that I ever ordered was SummerSlam 91. And I lied to you guys as far as saying I ordered it. I didn't order it. It was my aunts. I had some really old aunts that loved wrestling and watched wrestling until The Undertaker started putting people in coffins. That completely turned them off to it. But I thought it was awesome. And the SummerSlam 91 main event was the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter, General Adnan, and Colonel Mustafa, who was the Iron Sheik, in a handicap match with special referee Sid Vicious, who went by the name Sid Justice when he first got to the WWF. The big thing was, whose side is he going to be on? Absolutely huge, dynamic guy. Was Sid Justice, and he went on to win world titles. In 1996, 1997 was probably his best year as he beat Shawn Michaels in the Garden. But Sid was, at the time of 1991, not my favorite guy, because I was a Warrior guy. Loved the Ultimate Warrior. And Psycho Sid, well, that was his name later, but Sid Justice came in and was bigger than Warrior, and I could just see that he was going to take Warrior's spot as he posed with Hogan at the end of that match for the main event of SummerSlam 91. So Mattel comes out with this SummerSlam Elite figures, and this newest one, it's right here. You see with the glare, Sid Justice. And what this is unique is he's wearing a referee outfit, right? Because he was a referee for that main event. And you see the shirt is what we call soft goods. It's not painted on. You can take the shirt off and you can take the pants off. Let's go ahead. I don't keep these things in the boxes because, again, I put them up in my studio. And sometimes during rough days, it's just nice to come in and look at stuff that reminds you of your childhood. Go ahead and open this up. I'm using scissors to do that. Mattel does a great job with the artwork on these boxes, guys. Really awesome. I can see why people will keep it in the box. I've actually got a bag full of boxes in the garage that I might have to get rid of. Let me go ahead and put some career highlights. As we talked about, he won some world titles, WCW champion, WWE champion. Guy's an absolute monster, man. 6'9", 317 pounds. And he was supposed to be the next Hulk Hogan. When Hulk Hogan retired, Sid Vicious or Sid Justice or Psycho Sid, whatever you want to call him, was supposed to take over and be the next Hulk Hogan. There's some issues with him and Vince McMahon. Injuries. I mean, there's just a lot of different things that derailed that. Lack of charisma, maybe you could say. He wasn't exactly the most charismatic guy. He was more of an ass kicker. How do you take him out of this thing? There you go. Sid Justice, and take this little gimmick off. So the hands are removable. I'm not really a big hand. I don't care. I could give a shit because I don't play with these toys. I don't play with them. I don't do any of that. Now, what I love about this, what makes this figure unique for all the wrestling fans that will watch this, is this comes off. So, Sid Justice. Now, as you take the referee shirt off, you take these pants. Shout out to referee John Cone. I'm sure he's got one of these. His pants are kind of tough to get off. And, taking pants off dudes is not a specialty of mine, so you're going to have to give me some time here. Jesus, this is... Okay. Take off the pants. Sid Justice becomes Sid Vicious. And this is his Sid Vicious WCW gear. You got the removable knee pads. Again, the detail in the face. I love the fact that he's in this singlet, that he's Sid Vicious. I really do. There's so many Sid figures with him in his tights. But I think this is really cool. Reminds me of the old Galoob. Really simple. Red singlet, red knee pads, black boots, complete ass-kicking dude. Was Psycho Sid. The master, the ruler of the world. And the only complaint that I have is on the box. So it says Sid Justice on the box. Maybe if you put a little slash and say Sid, Sid Vicious, I thought that would be cool. You get a little artwork here. SummerSlam coming up from Las Vegas this year, from the Raiders Stadium, which is absolutely beautiful. I really wish I could make it to the game that the Eagles play the Raiders this year. And you know what? Maybe I might try to. I'm going to go to one more question here from Jacob Fry. What do you think the Eagles will get from the Bills for Zach Ertz to go there? So I haven't looked at the Buffalo Bills secondary. I'm not sure if there's anybody that the Eagles could use as a corner. But I think right now, teams know Zach's not going to be in Philly. They know the Eagles want to get rid of them. So the Eagles would be lucky, in my opinion, to get like a fifth for Zach Ertz. If they can get a fourth for Zach Ertz, I think Howie Roseman would be overjoyed. And you don't want to see it ugly. You don't want to see it turn ugly because Zach has meant so much to this team. Since he was drafted, he's meant a lot to this team. And obviously catching the winning touchdown in the Super Bowl, the only Super Bowl that the Philadelphia Eagles have ever won in their history, is something that we'll never forget. So you really don't want, I don't want it to end bad. That's my biggest thing. And it looks like it might be getting that way. So as we're almost at the 40-minute point, I didn't think I would talk that long, guys. So I've really enjoyed this live stream. You're getting more to come here from me. A little outro music. Look, the Philadelphia Eagles start training camp next week. There's going to be more content coming. Thanks, everybody, for joining in or watching this on the replay. Will Steven Nelson be a Philadelphia Eagle by tomorrow? I don't think so. And how about that banner, guys? How about that brand new banner on the side of Lincoln Financial Field? I'm going to leave you with this. Or this. How about that? As always, stay safe. Stay healthy. Go Birds. I'll see you guys later.